Ever wonder why financial FOMO, how social media became the new keeping up with the Joneses, is quietly draining your bank account every time you open your phone? Here's what nobody names out loud. The phone in your hand isn't showing you the world. It's showing you a scoreboard, and you're quietly losing on it every night before you even fall asleep. You scroll past a kitchen renovation, a weekend somewhere warm, a dinner that cost more than your whole week of groceries, a car in a driveway that isn't yours. None of it asks you for money directly. It doesn't have to. Something much older than the app is already doing the work for it. A quiet arithmetic starts running in the back of your mind. Where you are, where they seem to be, the distance between the two. And that distance is exactly where your money goes to die. Not through one dramatic mistake, through 1,000 small corrections you make just to feel level again. So this isn't a video about apps. It's about the machinery underneath them. Machinery that's more than a century old, now running on a screen that never turns off. Once you see it clearly, you can't unsee it again. Watch how it actually happens, step by step. You weren't planning to buy anything tonight. You opened the phone to rest, to switch your brain off for a while. Then a stranger appears on the screen, standing in front of a place you've never been, wearing a calm you don't feel. You keep scrolling, but something has already shifted. A small discomfort settles in, low and wordless, hard to name. 20 minutes later, you're staring at a checkout page you never intended to open. Maybe you buy it. Maybe you close the tab and tell yourself you're disciplined. But the discomfort stays either way. That's the pattern. It rarely looks like greed. It looks like restlessness. It looks like an ordinary Tuesday night where your life suddenly feels a step behind and a purchase seems like the fastest way to catch up. The item was never really the point. The relief was, you're not buying a jacket, you're buying your way back to level. And the strange part is how fast that level keeps moving away from you. Now notice what doesn't happen. The thing you were promised would fix it. The raise arrives. The promotion finally lands. For about a week, you feel it, lighter, ahead, safe. Then the feed quietly adjusts. The accounts you follow drift upward to match your new eyes. Suddenly, the people you measure yourself against have more than they did last month. The finish line moves the exact moment you reach it. You earn more and feel just as behind as before. Researchers have a name for this treadmill, and most people run on it their entire lives without once seeing the belt move. And it isn't rare. In recent surveys, more than half of people admit that seeing what others buy on social media pushes them to spend, not because they needed the thing, because of the feeling. You keep thinking the problem is your income. The problem is your reference point, and your reference point is being chosen for you all day long by a system you never agreed to let decide it. That heavy feeling that everyone is one step ahead, it doesn't come from your bank statement. It comes from your thumb, from the 1,000 tiny comparisons you make before you've even had breakfast. To understand why, we have to go back much further than the internet. Back to 1899. An economist named Thorstein Veblen published a book called The Theory of the Leisure Class. In it, he described something he named conspicuous consumption. The idea was simple and a little uncomfortable. People don't only spend money to enjoy things. They spend so that other people can see them spending. The value isn't in the object at all. It's in being witnessed owning it. Veblen was watching a world of brand new fortunes. Neighbors buying carriages and fine clothes, not for any real use, but as a signal. A way of saying, without ever saying it, I'm doing well. Look at me. He wrote this down more than 120 years ago, in a world with no screens, no cameras in every pocket, no feeds at all. He was describing your phone with uncanny precision. He just had no way of knowing it yet. Here's the mechanism, said plainly. Your brain didn't evolve for a world of millions of people. It evolved for a village, maybe 150 faces you would know for your entire life. In that world, comparing yourself to your neighbors made perfect sense. It kept you fed. It kept you safe. It kept you inside the group that could protect you. The instinct was pure survival. Fall too far behind the group, and you didn't just feel bad. You didn't eat. So your mind still treats every face it sees as a neighbor, as someone real, someone in your tribe, someone whose life is a fair measure of your own. The problem is simple arithmetic. A century ago, you compared yourself to a few dozen households on your street. Now you compare yourself to thousands of curated lives before lunch. Same ancient instinct, an impossibly larger sample, and every single one of those lives has been trimmed down to its one best second of the year. Your brain never got the memo that the neighbor is now a highlight reel built to impress you. But here's what makes today far worse than anything Veblen ever imagined. The neighbor with the shiny new carriage was real. You saw his life on Monday morning too. Tired, ordinary, quietly mortgaged like everyone else. The comparison had natural limits. Reality kept correcting it for you. The feed has no Monday morning. You never see the debt sitting behind the dinner, the argument behind the perfect trip, the emptiness behind the flawless kitchen. You're not competing with your neighbor anymore. You're competing with thousands of edited highlight reels made by people you will never once meet, and your nervous system genuinely cannot tell that they aren't real. It reads each image as simple truth, as a neighbor doing better than you are. And it does this most fiercely at night, in the dark, when your judgment is thinnest and the screen is the brightest thing in the room. That's the part almost no one connects. The comparison doesn't stop when you set the phone down. It follows you into the dark, and it whispers that everyone else is already asleep, satisfied, ahead. Now look at what this actually costs, and not in money first, but in your decisions. When your reference point is a highlight reel, every real choice you've made starts to feel small. The apartment you were once proud of feels cramped. The car that runs perfectly well feels a little embarrassing. The life you genuinely built starts to look like a rough draft of someone else's. And here's what the research keeps landing on. It isn't the scrolling itself that harms you. It's the upward comparison hidden inside it. Studies on Instagram use point to the same quiet culprit. Not screen time alone, but the habit of looking up at people you've decided are ahead. That specific move is what raises the anxiety, what dims the ordinary satisfaction, what makes a genuinely good life start to feel like a quiet failure. So you spend money to close a gap that was manufactured for you. You take on a payment just to quiet a feeling. And the feeling was never really about the thing you bought. It was about the story you were told, silently, that you were somehow falling behind. Now watch the very same night through a completely different mind. Someone who prospers quietly opens the same app, sees the same dinner, the same trip, the same flawless kitchen. But something in them simply doesn't move. They've done something rare and surprisingly simple. They decided in advance what enough actually looks like for them, not what the feed insists, what they say. They wrote the number down, in a sense, long before they ever picked up the phone tonight. So the image lands, and it passes straight through them. No arithmetic, no gap opening up, no quiet little correction to make at midnight. Notice, they aren't colder than you. They aren't better people. They just aren't playing a game they never chose. They're not wealthier because they fight temptation with raw willpower every single night. Willpower always runs out eventually. They're wealthier because they never really entered the comparison in the first place. They built their reference point on the inside, in a place the algorithm can't reach or edit. And an inside reference point is the one single thing a feed can never reach, never edit, never move. Here's the truth that's genuinely hard to hear. The very people you envy on that screen are often deep inside the same trap you are. The signal isn't free. Conspicuous consumption never was. Someone always has to pay for the appearance of doing well. And far more often than you'd ever guess, the person performing the perfect life is the one furthest behind, spending money they don't have to project a wealth they don't feel. The perfect trip goes on a card that won't be paid off for a year. The flawless kitchen hides a knot of quiet dread. You're comparing your ordinary reality to their careful performance, and they, in turn, are comparing their reality to someone else's performance. Everyone is looking up. Almost no one is looking across. It's comparison all the way down. A hall of mirrors where almost everyone secretly feels poor, and almost no one is willing to admit it. The feed isn't showing you wealth at all. It's showing you the anxiety of appearing wealthy. And that specific anxiety is the actual product being sold back to you, one scroll at a time. So the real question was never how much you earn. It's who you've quietly allowed to hold the measuring stick. For most people, the honest answer is a stranger they'll never meet, filtered through a machine engineered to keep them watching as long as possible. Every time you pick up the phone just to rest, you hand that measuring stick straight back over, and it gets marked a little higher than before. This is exactly why more money so rarely fixes the feeling. You can raise the income all you want. You simply cannot outrun a reference point that moves faster than you ever could. It's already waiting at the next level before you arrive. Identity is the thing sitting underneath all of it. Not what you earn, not what you own. What you've silently decided you need in order to feel like you're enough. Change the number in your account, and the restlessness just waits patiently for you there. Change who holds the measuring stick, and the entire game finally goes quiet. And notice the cruelest detail in all of it. This drain never once announces itself. There's no single dramatic moment where you sit down and decide to trade your peace for a scoreboard. It happens in fragments instead. A comparison here, a small purchase there, a slightly heavier feeling each night that you slowly learn to call normal. You stop noticing it, the way you stop hearing a fridge hum. Veblen watched people compete against a single street of 100 houses. You compete against a street with no end, one that refills itself every time you glance at it, one that never, not once, shows you a tired Monday morning. The neighbors in your pocket never sleep. And so, in a way, neither do you. Not fully, not while the very last thing your mind does before dark is measure itself against strangers. That's the true cost, not the money at all. The permanent, low, humming sense of being behind in a race that was never even real, against runners who were never actually there. So here's the one behavioral change genuinely worth making. Not a spending rule, a noticing rule. The next time you feel that urge to buy something right after scrolling, just pause and ask yourself a single question. Would I still want this if no one could ever know I had it? If the honest answer is yes, if the thing genuinely improves your actual day, then that's a real want. Keep it with a clear conscience. But if the answer is no, if the pull quietly fades the moment nobody could see it, then you weren't buying the object at all. You were buying the signal, and you can set it back down without the ache that usually follows. Do this for a single week, and something quiet begins to happen. You start to see the difference between what you truly want and what you were simply shown, between your own reference point and the one that was handed to you. That one question, asked honestly, drains the machine's power, because the machine only works while the comparison stays invisible to you. So the next time you open your phone at night and feel that small, familiar pull to catch up, you'll know exactly what it really is. Not a message from the world, not proof that you're behind. 100-year-old instinct running on a screen that never sleeps, quietly measuring you against people who don't actually exist. The bank account it slowly drains was never really the target. Your own sense of enough was. And enough was never something you had to buy, or scroll toward, or earn back at midnight. It was only ever something you were allowed to decide for yourself. The neighbors never sleep, but tonight, maybe, for the first time in a long while, you finally can.